Prime Minister Modi is set to embark on his two-day visit to Kuwait. He will kick off the visit with a visit to an Indian labour camp with the aim to show solidarity with the Indian labour force employed in the country. Prime Minister Modi will also hold bilateral talks with the Emir and Crown Prince, besides an interaction with the Indian diaspora. The Ministry of External Affairs said that Prime Minister Modi will review with the leadership of Kuwait the entire spectrum of bilateral relations, including trade, investment, energy, culture, people-to-people relations as well, and the steps that both sides need to take to further enhance their ties. I'm being joined by my colleague Ghazali with more details. Ghazali, the Prime Minister is going to be visiting a labour camp today. Bilaterals are also lined up. Take us through what we can expect from the visit.
See, this is the first country in the last 10 years where the Prime Minister has not visited, which is part of the Gulf Cooperation Council or one of the key Arab states, Kuwait. And in the last 43 years, he will be the first Indian Prime Minister to visit Kuwait. That's the first significance of this visit, because the last time it was Indira Gandhi who had visited Kuwait. The second significance is that we know that Kuwait has the largest Indian expat population there. And Prime Minister going to a labor camp is very significant of the fact that these Arab countries are often accused also of having not proper conditions for our Indian laborers there. And we have reported earlier in this year that how many Indian laborers were killed there during a fire incident. So Prime Minister going to that labor camp kind of shows that message that the Indian government attaches importance to the safety and security of our laborers who are working there, or the workforce we send to these Gulf countries needs to be treated really well. And that is what this entire visit, at least the address to the Indian community and the visit to the labor camp signifies, when Prime Minister will address and meet these laborers over there. Beyond that, the trade ties, investment, defense cooperation will all be under discussion when the Prime Minister meets the Amir of Kuwait during this trip, during this two-day trip, and he will be leaving Delhi at around 9:15 from here. And after that, he will land in Kuwait and have bilateral meetings and defense, trade, investment, and other, as the Emir has suggested, that all the entire gamut of the bilateral relations will be discussed with the relevant officials of Kuwait during this visit.
Thank you, Ghazali, for joining us and bringing us those details. I'm also being joined by Raven D'Souza, Managing Editor of The Times Kuwait. Thank you for joining us, sir. This is the first visit by an Indian Prime Minister in 43 years. How significant is this visit?
The visit comes, is a long overdue visit. It's, and Kuwait and India have enjoyed a historical relationship. So this is a real long time gap for the leader of our country to visit Kuwait after almost 43 years. So we have many significant and firsts probably in this visit. We are the largest Indian community in Kuwait, almost 1 million, and we've been thriving and flourishing in Kuwait from the 1940s almost. So in keeping that in mind, we should have had more highest level engagement. So this visit, after Modi's visits to the rest of the Arabian Gulf, and Kuwait being the last in this whole trip of visits, we feel that it's going to bring about many more, let's say, benefits between the two countries. We have a shared history. We have commonalities in many ways, in terms of our culture, in terms of our democracies, functioning democracies to some extent, and in terms of relationship. Kuwaitis have a very age-old tie and relationship with India. Modi ji's visit can also help in changing some perception here in Look West, which has now been a little bit adjusted to the extent that the whole Arabian Gulf and the Middle East is looking east, and India has to fill that role, and they've done quite successfully in the rest of the Gulf countries, especially in UAE. Having said that, Kuwait also has a new leadership. Our ruler, the Amir, has just celebrated 1 year in office, so it's a very right time to meet and to engage at the highest level, which will bring in and probably reap in a lot of benefits for both countries. So I think this visit is historic in every sense. The community is very excited. We are looking forward. We were looking forward for this visit for a couple of years, and I think there is going to be a lot of good announcements and excitement about the whole aura of the visit, the pride, the purpose, and so many more things that the community feels. Uh, sort of excited about.
Right, sir. So Prime Minister will also be visiting a Labour camp. What does this mean for Indian workers in the diaspora in Kuwait?
No, I don't think that's on the agenda. Kuwait has a very robust and strong legal framework, including labor laws. Violations or some incidents like that happen and can happen anywhere. So I don't think really Indian workers, in terms of their protection, is going to be on the agenda. But we've evolved a long way from oil workers to oil contractors to employees to businessmen to professionals, doctors, engineers, now IT professionals, finance professionals. So really, we are engaging with Kuwait, and also Kuwait is seeing India as not just a labor supply, but more as a partner in their whole vision 2035. So India is, and Kuwait, as you know, has one of the third largest sovereign wealth funds in the world. There's huge investment happening, plans for a huge investment, and so I think Modi ji's visit at this opportune time can reap, and there might be a lot of exciting announcements that might be made. We are looking forward to that. But more also, I think engagement between leaders of two countries bring a lot of benefits that can percolate down right to, as you said, laborers, to the what you say, joint working commissions, where we have now recently signed some agreements that where engagement will be on these issues at the highest level. So it's not particularly labor, but I think it's much more than a relationship that has stood the test of time. It has flourished in every way, and it's ready for the next level.